never even knew existed that will now terrify and horrify your dreams for the rest of your life. Many of you may have heard a few of these things. I say them sometimes when I run out of other things to say, because they're interesting. But I don't think all of you have heard them. I did tell you, however, on your first day here, a little piece, little tidbit of information about the size and shape of the colossal squid's brain. The colossal squid's brain, unlike any other squid besides the giant squid, any guesses what shape is it? It's a donut shape, and what goes through the middle of its donut brain? Esophagus! It's esophagus. So, let's think about how that works. The tube that you swallow things through goes through the middle of the thing that you think with. It also happens to tell you how to swallow things. You swallow something that's too big, and the thing that helps you figure out how to swallow things gets damaged. You eat something too big and you get brain damage. I don't understand how this happens according to intelligent design or evolution. I don't understand the genetic benefits of having a donut brain. Perhaps I am naive, but I digress. So, does anyone else remember if I told you what the colossal squid has on its tentacles instead of suction cups? Yes.
Hooks that turn at 360-degree angle.
They have hooks.
Damn.
They have hooks on their tentacles. You know, most octopus, most squid-dwelling creatures in the ocean, they have little suction cup things, and they can like stick onto the side of your aquarium, and it's kind of cool because you can see them eat things from the underside. No. Colossal squid's like, no, I'm never going to be in an aquarium. I don't need suction cups. What I need is hooks. Like Captain Hook, but everywhere.
Captain Hook, but everywhere.
Like, okay, Captain Hook, good idea. Many more hooks. How can I make that even better? I know, I'll make them all swivel 360 degrees. So that when I hook onto something, it can never get away. That's one, because it has 6 tentacles and 2 long hunting feeler tentacles that are even longer. And those hooks aren't just like little Velcro hooks. They're about as long and sharp as tigers' claws. Oh. They feed on the sea bass. So sea bass swimming along in the ocean is like, ah! And the fish is like, ah! And it's like, ah, but I have hooks and it doesn't matter which way you swim because they'll stay in your flesh. And it pulls it in, and it has this little cracking beak, and it starts eating little pieces of the fish, but not bigger than about a ½ inch in diameter, or it gets what?
Brain damage!
We're learning. Good. So, the colossal squid, interesting distinction between that and the giant squid. The giant squid is about as long as the colossal squid if you were to take its big juicy body and put it here, and then stretch out its tentacles all the way to over here. They're about as long, which is about 20 feet, which is really big. But the colossal squid's body is a lot bigger than the giant squid. The giant squid's like, hey, I'm up here, look at how big it belongs to you. And the colossal squid's like, no, I'm a behemoth. Yeah, it's kind of terrifying, but does anyone know what feeds on squid? What eats squid? Whales eat squid sometimes.
Yeah,
Humans sometimes eat squid. Interesting fact, coming back to that later. So, this giant whale, if you came to polar bears, I told you about this. There are certain species of whales that prey on the colossal squid. Personally, I wouldn't choose to tango with something that's covered in hooks that swivel at 360 degrees. Not my thing, but whatever. So, this whale's down there, and it's like, squid, ah! And it goes for the squid, and the squid's like, no, whale! So then the whale's biting the squid, and this guy, who lives in New Zealand, who is quote-unquote a squid expert, that is his title, that is his job. I don't know how that happens.
You're a certified squid expert.
Anyhow, but this guy's for real. Like, he's studying marine biology for like 25 years of his life. And so he's like dissecting. There's a clip of this guy standing and he's talking about, oh yeah, I really love squids. They're just so cool. And then it cuts to a clip of him standing in like waders, the wader overalls that you wear if you're like fly fishing in very deep water. But he's not in water, he's standing in the middle of a whale.
Oh, my God.
a whale that has washed up on shore and started to decompose for several weeks. And then he decided, I know, I'm going to prove that whales eat colossal squid by going up to this decaying lump of mass, cutting it open and stepping inside, and then feeling around in there for pieces of colossal squid hooks. And then he's like, oh, I got one, look, it proves it, it proves it. And I'm like, that's disgusting. And I'm like, that's stuff now. And then he's like, look how cool. Oh. I'm like, yeah, that's because it's dead. It smells terrible. So then he's like, if you look here, you can see on the side. You can see they had a wee beetle. They had a wee beetle under the sea. Because on the side of this whale, there are gigantic hook claw marks. Like the same spacing that they are on the colossal squid's arm tentacles. So like this whale is like chomping on this squid, and this squid's throwing its tentacles like lashing onto the side of the whale, and as it's being eaten, it's just dragging its claws down the length of the tail. So it has these huge gashes. Again, pick something easier to eat. You have starfish in the ocean, for goodness sake. So they eat colossal squid, and that's exciting. Now, there's another species of squid called the Humboldt squid, named so for its shape because it is only about 3 to 5 feet long, not quite as terrifying. However, they used to only breed near the Baja Peninsula in waters right in between Mexico and the Baja, and it was like, okay, that's cool, that's Humboldt squid land, we're good with that. That's their thing, they're doing it there, we're not going to mess with that. But then, some people in California started being like, what is this in my net? That's not like something I normally catch when I fish for fish. And it was a Humboldt squid, and they were like, that's not normal. And we're like, alright, well, what's this happening? And then other fishermen started catching it. And then they started catching more Humboldt squid than they were catching fish. Which, if you're a seasonal fisherman who earns all of his living from fishing for like this much time out of the year, and you're catching mostly squid that you can't do anything with, pretty upsetting. So there's another marine biologist, expert guru, Squid Man, who's like, I know, this sounds like a job for Squid Man! And he decides that he's going to go and dive deep under the water and study these Humboldt squid in their natural habitat. But he's trying to figure out if they're breeding everywhere in the ocean, or if they're breeding only in that peninsula and then migrating because there's food. So he's like, oh, I'm trying scuba diving, flippers, zip, helmet, air, we're good to go. Flips off the back of the boat, and he starts descending in the water. And he goes 20 feet under, and he goes 50 feet under, and he goes 200 feet under, and he ends up 250 feet under the surface of the ocean. Now, who swam in the lake today? Does anyone open their eyes underwater? Yeah. Okay. Can you see very much in our lake? No. It's pretty cloudy. One, our lake is kind of murky, but two, if you open your eyes and it's deep at all, you can't see a lot. Like, our swimmer Dylan, who swims the pattern deep sea, which is under the raft and along there, you can't really see that much.